know you care. We know you care, frankly, about who represents you, and I think that's absolutely wonderful, because I just started teaching on Monday, and I asked my students at Red Rocks Community College to identify their state representatives and their state senators, and they thought I was talking about people on Mars. So I'm thrilled that all of you are here and you care passionately about which of us or others will be your representative. And I also echo what Daniel said about the emotional bond that we create. Because I know I've seen some of you, and one of the first things I say when I see one of my constituents whom I haven't seen since all this was going on is, I'm going to lose you. And I'm really sad about that. But the good news of that is you are, as Daniel said, as far as I'm concerned, you're going to be inheriting some really great folks. Mark will get some of my district too. And he actually will lose a real chunk of his district. And so, you know, this is just the way the change happens. And we're disappointed to lose those of you with whom we've had relationships because we've represented you since we were elected. But we're looking forward to finding out who our new constituents are, and frankly, I know some of whom my new constituents will be, and I'm thrilled that I'll be able to be working with you. So either way, folks, it's not like any of us, depending on the outcome of the election, is going to abandon you. Well, we wouldn't abandon you, we just might get forced to leave you, but we will try not to let that happen, and we will try to continue to work with all of you to the best of our abilities. I brought maps that show District 6, so if you are in District 6 and want a map that shows District 6 new boundaries with all the streets, we pass those around to the District 6 folks who are here. And the most important piece that I want to talk about as far as that's concerned, that Jerry brought up, is that business about Arapahoe County and that Susan brought up about Jeffco. It's because there are pieces of other counties in Denver. I mean, that's what has happened. The city of Glendale is unincorporated Arapahoe County. That's been in my district through this last cycle. Yeah, but it's part of unincorporated. Glendale is incorporated, but it's part of unincorporated Arapahoe. All right. It's part of Arapahoe County. And there's also Holly Hills, which is part of Arapahoe County. Not unincorporated, incorporated, but not contiguous. I was using the wrong word. Sorry. So it's part of non-contiguous Arapahoe County. The city of Glendale and Holly Hills are both part of Arapahoe County. Glendale has been part of House District 6. Holly Hills has been part of House District 9. On the new map, both the city of Glendale and Holly Hills will be part of House District 9 because they aren't contiguous with any part of Arapahoe County, but at least give them to each other. And it made more sense to the folks drawing the maps that District 9 would come up and grab Glendale and keep Holly Hills, then have District 6 go down and grab Holly Hills and keep Glendale. Just one of the little things that happened. The important thing, too, that I want you to really think about is, again, if you are a loyal Democrat, and I know everybody in this room isn't, but if you are, it is highly unlikely that Denver, those 8 seats, are going to not continue to be Democrats. So if that matters to you as a loyal Democrat, you can probably recognize that Denver is likely to continue to have Democratic representation. People like Daniel and our suburban people, Jeffco, Arapahoe, up into Adams, those seats are where the partisan pieces will play far more heavily. They will be more consequential. And I agree with Daniel. The good government person in me thinks that's not all a bad thing, to have more competition, because it requires the voters to listen to the people, to express their opinions to the candidates and to listen to the candidates and really pick people exclusive of the D or the R next to their name. So I think that's a valid thing. And the real discussion right now is in the suburbs, is about the lines in the suburbs for both the House and the Senate. That's the real discussion right now, is where are those lines and are they fair to both parties as broadly as possible. So that's the real conversation that's going on right now. And I think it's important that we respect this process. This process you all voted for. In fact, I can't remember which amendment it was. Do you remember which it was, Sherry? I can't remember. That the League of Women Voters in Common Cause brought forward to create this commission. And it's one of the amendments to our state constitution that passed with the highest threshold. It was like over 70% of the people in Colorado wanted that kind of a commission to deal with these lines. They wanted it out of the legislature. So it was a citizen initiative that took it out and made the commission as it is currently designed. So that's the way it's working. Again, there's District 6 maps for people who want them. If there's any extras, I think Sally Ann wanted one. And Barb over here, if there's any extras floating around, I brought a bunch of them, so I hope there might be some extras. Anyway, for people in District 6. But the final point that I want to make is that it's not done yet. There is still discussion, and the lady who was sitting there, she's out there right now, she mentioned coming to Wednesday night when the commission will be doing public testimony for Denver. If you feel that something about the way this proposed map or these proposed maps is not going to serve your community well, I encourage you to go down there and talk with them. That's part of the process. So these have not been finalized. So if you see huge flaws, whether it's in the district you live in or in, Grand Junction, if you think there's problems, you should go down there and testify, although Wednesday's meeting will be about the Denver lines particularly. So with that, if there's any questions specific for me or District 6, we'll just keep on keeping on, huh? Thank you.
So we're going to let Representative McCann go, and then we'll start through the senators.
Okay, thank you. Jerry, do you have the District 8 map that you can put up specifically?
I can zoom in on it.
Okay. Okay, so my district is actually doing something that I think is a really good thing, which is moving out more into Park Hill. Right now, House District 8 goes below 26th Avenue. It cuts over to Hudson and Holly, so it kind of splits